Hi, seventh graders. So this week we have been talking about theme, what a theme statement is and what a theme statement is not. We started off by watching this video from Khan Academy in which we watched the story and considered some questions in order to come up with a theme statement. Then we went through this Nearpod and talked about the following. So let's review. A theme statement is a sentence. A theme statement should be a complete sentence. It should explain the message the author is trying to make. So, on the other side, a theme statement is not a subject or topic. Friendship is an example of a topic, not a theme statement. Number two, a theme statement is universal. A theme statement should be universal. It can be applied to other works of literature and to the lives of people in general. So, it is not specific to an individual text. Don't include specific characters or plot points in that theme statement. Later on, when you're giving your evidence and your reasoning, then you will include specific characters and plot points. But in that initial theme statement, you are not being specific to that text. Number three, your theme statement should be original. A theme statement should be written in your own original words. So it is not a common saying. You're going to avoid cliches like never give up, actions speak louder than words, absence makes the heart grow fonder, etc. These aren't themes. They're just expressions that people use all the time and they have very little power or real insight. Four, an observation. It is based on what is directly in the text. If you cannot find evidence to support a theme throughout the text, from the beginning, middle, and end, it may not be a good theme statement for that text. So that evidence is where you will talk about specific characters and plot points. It is not advice or a command, so don't make it sound like advice. You should always be there for your family isn't a theme, it's a suggestion. Keep your theme statements objective and based solely on evidence from the story. And five, your theme statement should be reasonable. Don't be obvious. War is bad is not a good theme. Dig a little deeper using details from the story. So it also should not be an absolute, which means you should avoid words like always, never, every, everyone, no one, all, only. All right, so then we jumped into gathering some evidence from the outsiders based on some of these theme statements that were provided for you. So you were to pick one of these and then provide the evidence that shows that theme statement and your reasoning. Remember, your reasoning should always outweigh your evidence. You maybe will have one line of evidence and you should have 2 to 3 sentences of reasoning. This whole thing is about what you think, what you observe from the text. I have to be able to know your thoughts here. So now what I really want to do is look at this sample structured paragraph. So we're going to read this paragraph, which is an example of a theme paragraph. And we're going to highlight the following, okay? So first we're going to look for the introduction, then the theme statement, then evidence, reasoning, and closing sentence. Then when you write your theme paragraph about the outsiders, you're going to be able to follow the same structure. So first let's read it. We have all experienced that awkward moment when we couldn't find someone to be our partner for a school activity or people to sit with at lunch. What if not fitting in was an everyday occurrence? It can be depressing and isolating. The personal memoir, The Acorn People by Ron Jones, is about a group of people who seem to have nothing in common, but long to feel a sense of belonging. The theme Jones reveals is that in order to feel fulfilled in life, people need to be valued by others. In the beginning of the novel, Ron Jones makes a nut necklace at the craft table because he feels awkward. Benny B shares that they all feel weird, and the group makes additional acorn necklaces for each other, thus forming the Acorn Society. Prior to the forming of the Acorn Society, Ron and the campers feel uncomfortable at camp. However, once Ron feels part of the group, he is pleased that he stayed at camp. The necklaces and knowing what the other people are feeling as awkward as he does helps them all form a bond with each other. The idea that the characters feel fulfilled when they are accepted is revealed in the text when Aaron is crowned king of the dance. Upon returning to his bunk, Aaron cries tears of joy. Previously in the story, Aaron had been nicknamed Arid due to his poor smell. and it was his stench that prevented others from befriending him. After being chosen the king of the dance, Aaron is overcome with happiness because he finally feels accepted by others. This is the first time in his life when he is made to feel special for something good instead of something odd and different. Including and accepting others can make life worth living. No matter how young or old a person is, feeling like you belong gives meaning to your life. All right, so now we are going to go in and we are going to highlight these different parts of this paragraph. So let's start off with the introduction, which typically the introduction is going to be at the very beginning. So we have this first part here in which this author is kind of giving us some background on this story that they read. So let's go ahead and mark this, highlight this in blue. All right. Then we're looking for the theme statement. So the theme Jones reveals is that in order to feel fulfilled in life, people need to be valued by others. And then we can double check, does that meet all of our criteria? Okay, so let's see. It's a full sentence. It's universal. It's not specific to those characters. It's original. It's an observation from the story. It's reasonable. It's not a common saying. It's not advice. It doesn't have any of those absolutes in it. So, yeah, it passes our test. All right, so now we are going to look for evidence and reasoning. And so this author of this paragraph starts by saying, in the beginning of the novel, Ron Jones makes a nut necklace at the craft table because he feels awkward. Benny B shares that they all feel weird, and the group makes additional acorn necklaces for each other, thus forming the Acorn Society. So all of this here is a piece of evidence. So in this case, this person used paraphrasing. Many of you will be using direct evidence from the outsiders, but in this case, paraphrasing is okay. So they tell us what happens in the beginning. Then this person goes ahead and gives some reasoning. Prior to forming the Acorn Society, Ron and the campers feel uncomfortable at camp. However, once Ron feels a part of the group, he is pleased that he stayed at camp. The necklaces and knowing what the other people are feeling as awkward as he does, helps them to form a bond with each other. So this is the explanation for that piece of evidence. I'm going to highlight that in green. The idea that the characters feel fulfilled when they are accepted is revealed in the text when Aaron is crowned king of the dance. Upon returning to his bunk, Aaron cries tears of joy. Okay, so another piece of evidence. Talking about this next scenario in which this character is crowned king of the dance. Again, this person decided to paraphrase instead of using direct evidence. So then here's an explanation, the reasoning of how this fits that they are fulfilled in life when they're valued by others. So previously in the story, Aaron had been nicknamed Arid due to his poor smell, and it was his stench that prevented others from befriending him. After being chosen king of the dance, Aaron is overcome with happiness because he finally feels accepted by others. This is the first time in his life that he is made to feel special for something good instead of something odd and different. Okay, so after giving this piece of evidence that they paraphrase directly from the story, they go on and explain how this piece of evidence shows this theme. Okay, so every piece of reasoning is meant to show how the piece of evidence actually reveals this theme. So then finally, we have our concluding sentence. So I want you to kind of wrap it up for me, almost restate this theme statement a little bit. Including and accepting others can make life worth living. See, they restated it. No matter how young or old a person is, feeling like you belong gives meaning to your life. So that's going to be our concluding sentence that we will put in red. And then we have a structured theme paragraph. So when you are going on to writing your own theme paragraph, you are going to make sure that it has this same structure. You're going to have some introduction that explains the story. It's going to have that tag in it where you talk about the title, author, and genre. Then you're going to move into your theme statement, and then you are going to give 3 pieces of evidence and reasoning. So your paragraph will be a little bit longer. So you will have evidence, reasoning, and then one more. And then you'll have your concluding sentence, which again, you'll kind of, just like they did here, you kind of restate your theme statement. So that is what you were doing in this next part, this Outsiders theme paragraph draft. Okay. And then you will see an assignment posted for you to put your final Outsiders theme paragraph. If you have any questions about theme, please reach out to me and I will help you the best that I can. Otherwise, good luck and happy writing.